Journey started in September 2015, and I was not looking for an opportunity like this. I was only looking for a probiotic for my daughter. I was teaching Montessori school in a small town in Maine. I was exhausted, and I was yearning to be valued and compensated for all the hard work I was doing. A month after starting the products and seeing results, corporate ran a campaign called A November to Remember. Does anybody remember that one? You could earn $1,000, and in those days, we were charging Christmas on a credit card and then paying it off slowly into the next year. And all I could think was, what if I share and we use that money to pay for Christmas this year? And I did, and I earned it, and by December, I had drawn my line in the sand, and I told my husband, I'm doing this thing. We're going to the top. I had the mindset that if others could do this, so could I, and Plexus had something that everyone needs. I earned silver stars, and my husband and I flew to corporate, and I got to see the pulse, the heart, and the integrity of the leaders and the culture at the home office. My belief was huge at the end of that trip. I knew I was in the right place. I made it to Ruby a year later in October, and then Senior Ruby in February 2017. We went Emerald in May 2017 while at convention in Vegas. So my entire team was in my hotel room. Remember the feeling of like watching the computer and hitting refresh and refresh and refresh. And seeing that life-changing rank show up. I was so blessed that I was able to be with a large majority of my team in the room. And the emotions were so high when I reached it, and we all got to celebrate together. And I think that was really when my belief hit. Like, this is possible. This is possible for me, and this is possible for them. But as many of you know, after hitting Emerald, you kind of feel exhausted. You kind of take this deep breath, and you kind of think, am I going to keep pushing and going? Do I going to take a moment? But I decided to dig in and keep enrolling and running to Diamond. I had so much to learn, though, in my leadership at Emerald. I kind of kept pushing through with sheer force and willpower, but I definitely was not feeling peaceful in my business. It actually felt very painful. Like, I didn't feel like I was a good leader. I didn't know how to lead people to their goals. I had no clue what I brought to my team in terms of my strengths and my gifts. Imposter syndrome and comparison were real. I had so much scarcity of anyone on my team leaving that I was working around the clock trying to answer all their questions and be on all the time so no one would be upset and I'd feel like a good leader. But guess what I realized? We actually can't try to act like the perfect leader to everyone in fear they'll quit Plexus. Everyone is their own person with their own stuff happening, and their future in Plexus does not solely ride on your shoulders. How many of you are currently feeling and carrying this weight? I did for years, and I tried to pull everyone up the hill with me. Your team has to decide whether they are all in and going to do this. They have to believe they're capable, dig in, and do the things. You can't stress and try to force something for everyone at the expense of your own peace, time freedom, and balance in your life. You can encourage them, you can remind them about the potential you see in them, but realizing their journey will be their journey, and we cannot slow down from finding people who need this to wait for them. I learned I had to constantly keep sharing this opportunity with others in order to keep growing. But the other thing I realized is my team is different from me. They show up differently. They have different upbringings, different experiences, different paths, different values and beliefs, and definitely different strengths. For the longest time, I was ignorant to this idea. I thought everyone thought like me, operated like me, and had the same values as me. And when I realized this, I thought, whoa, no wonder they don't all show up like I do. I had a little more empathy and understanding, and I also could then work with them to find their unique gifts, recognizing they were going to be different. They were going to be different from mine. Eventually, when I got to Diamond, I couldn't fake it anymore. I couldn't push through anymore. I magically thought that title at Diamond and the external validation would resolve all my limiting thoughts. My worthiness would finally kick in. I would finally feel peace in my business. I would finally feel like a good leader. I would find the feelings I was after, that I was enough. I remember sitting in a leadership conference shortly after reaching Diamond, and the speaker had us close our eyes and read these phrases. And actually, I would love for all of us to do this right now. So she had us repeat, I am worthy and deserving. I am
worthy and deserving.
Sorry about that. I am enough.
I am enough.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I trust myself.
I trust myself.
I allow myself to receive.
I allow myself to receive.
Now, after I sat in these words, emotions hit me really hard, and tears streamed down my face for hours. It was like I couldn't recover from how broken and unworthy I felt. So I want to save you some of the years of pain and that I went through, if I can, and be real and vulnerable, because I know I'm not alone in this. How I feel now is very different from how I felt for years. The way I'm building now is still consistent growth. I'm still recruiting, but now I'm recruiting in a joyful, peaceful, trusting, confident way. I'm in my gifts, and we are helping others on my team find their gifts. And that is why we're finding success right now. I invested in a business coach. I invested in a life coach. I took some online classes, and along the way, I had some major changes and shifts and aha moments, growth moments, places I had to release and change and grow. I wrote down all the thoughts I was having and decided if they're serving me or not, and decided what I wanted to believe instead. I had to define for myself, what does it mean to be a leader? And then I was free to become that. The harder I tried to be like other leaders, the worse I felt in my leadership. The further I got from my integrity and my authentic self, the further I got from shining my light. Can you see and feel the difference from the leaders who are walking in their authentic self and their gifts? Can you see it like radiating from them? They carry this authentic energy, and you think, wow, everything seems to be working out for them. You can have that too. You aren't broken if you're feeling this way. You aren't broken, and there's nothing wrong with you. You aren't doing it the wrong way. You just need some discovery about who you are. You just need to change some thoughts about what you might be thinking. So once you're in this place, it's fun again. You aren't comparing yourself to others, because this is your way, and you have full belief in that way. When I found my confidence in my leadership, I was motivated to show up for my own IPA. I felt passionate about helping others discover this business because I believed I could lead them. And the real shift came when I recognized that people were out there who wanted this. I could attract them, and I could lead them to their goals. You'll feel a greater desire to recruit when you know you have gifts to share and believe in your leadership. When you find your purpose, your IPA won't feel like work, it will feel like a mission. So here's a little thought check. What are you currently thinking about yourself? Can you lead people to Emerald? Can you get people here with you next year? How do you feel about this opportunity? Does it feel easy? Does it feel hard? What do you think about your leadership? Do you know your strengths? Do you have a vision of where you're going? And do you believe it's possible for you? And when you are doing, and then are you doing the things that will get you there? Because release any thoughts that are holding you back. They are not serving you. And you are in control of deciding you don't want to think that anymore, but it does take work to shift your thoughts, you guys. It's kind of like you go to the gym every day to build your body. You have to work every day on your thoughts. It's not like you go once or you say a phrase and it's done. You got to work on it. So the more you see yourself and your unique gifts, the more you will show up authentically and with confidence, and then you can help others do the same. So just like in Plexus, once you've gone silver, you can take the steps to get them there. It's the same when you commit to doing this thought work and this inner work to find your worth and your authentic, heart, self-centered leadership style. You then can help your team find theirs. So I believe leadership is about shining your unique light, showing up integrity, and inspiring others to find their own unique path. So when I started leading this way, it trickled down to my team, created a culture of trust, growth, and success. Less comparison, but more celebration for what we each bring to the table. And I loved yesterday that Ben Nemtin shared, being who you truly are and what you're passionate about is your calling, like it's your thing. And so I love helping others find that. So I challenge you to keep discovering yourself, keep growing yourself, and you're always evolving and changing, and let your light lead the way. Thank you.